What's up guys, Delzinski here, and before we get things started I'd like to say a big, huge, massive thank you to everybody who participated and commented on my last video in relation to Hulk Hogan potentially leaving TNA Impact Wrestling. Now thanks to you guys' feedback, interaction and participation, I am most definitely going to be doing a lot more of these Wrestle Talk style videos. But with that in mind, there is one slight change, and that slight change is we're going to be ditching the phrase Wrestle Talk, and we're going to be coming with something fresh and something new. And that fresh and newness is going to be called in the form and phrase of the Lowdown. So the Lowdown is basically going to be me giving my views on potential information, news, gossip, rumours, and just things I find interesting within the wrestling business today. So, let's not hold back any longer and let's talk about the topic today. And today's Lowdown is the X Division. Because there is more news coming out of TNA right now regarding Hulk Hogan's contract. And as of yesterday, the source is WrestlingInc.com, and I will put the link in the description box below. But as of yesterday, Hulk Hogan is no longer under contract to TNA Impact Wrestling. That's right. Now, from what I've heard and what I've read, both sides are still in negotiations, so he could still re-sign and rejoin. But at the moment, there is nothing official and there is nothing in writing. TNA, from the sounds of it, want to keep Hulk Hogan, but the issue and the breakdown, it always comes back to the same thing with Hulk. It's all down to the money. So, with it being a money issue for TNA and Hulk Hogan to agree a deal, the question brings me back to the Lowdown topic today, the X Division. Would it not be best to maybe say, sorry Hulk, we're financially in trouble, and to be honest, to give you a better contract is not really what we need to do at the moment, and we need to focus on our young talent, and we need to bring in some stars of the future, and that is where our money is best invested. Would it not be better to say bye to Hulk Hogan and begin to rebuild the X Division of what it needed to become and what it used to be? The unique selling point of TNA Impact Wrestling. Because let's face it, under the Hogan and Bischoff regime, the X Division was crushed and crippled by these two. Two guys that didn't understand it when they came in, and two guys that still don't understand it now. Hell, Eric Bischoff even gave Abyss the X Division title, and then decided they wanted to wipe out every X Division competitor. Does this guy know the X Division? No, he doesn't. Does this guy care for the X Division? No, he didn't. So with them going, because I'm assuming Bischoff would go with Hogan, I think it's the perfect opportunity to rejuvenate the division that has died a death. It frustrates me because when you look at things, look at what it used to be. You used to have the likes of Jay Lethal, Petey Williams, Sonjay Dutt, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Low-Key, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and many, many more, all competing within this division. Now, we don't even have a division. We don't have substantial superstars who wrestle in the X Division week in, week out. I thought they were going to do this with the gut check guys. Get them in the X Division. Oh no, we just go and release all of them once we build them up, give them a contract, and then we let them go. The X Division isn't a division because there are no superstars to go in it. And the X Division has become a dumping ground for guys that were in the main event, and then TNA has nothing for them, so they drop them in the X Division to take the X Division title. And then when they're bored with them, they let them go, and 6 months later, they rock up at WWE. That is what the X Division has become. A dumping ground for guys that have nothing else better to do. And that is not what that belt should be about. It made it even worse when they made it a Money in the Bank style belt, when you can cash it in for a world title shot. How much more do you want to devalue a belt? Because every year people think, I don't want this piece of tin, I want to go for the big piece of tin. It again devalues a title which has so much prestige to TNA. So what needs to be done is they need to go and scout, get out there, use the money that they've saved from renewing Hogan's contract and bring in the best talent out there today from the indie circuits. Pinch some guys from ROH. Get your guys that you've signed on short-term deals, Sonjay Dutt, Petey Williams, signed to long-term contracts so they can now become fully fledged members of the X Division and build it and bring it in and make it a division again. And then we will get the 5-star matches that we used to see. And don't forget, TNA's Impact line was Wrestling Matters. Well, wrestling hasn't mattered for a long time. If you're going to put Austin Aries in the X Division, he stays in the X Division. If you're going to put AJ Styles in the X Division, he stays in the X Division. And he makes it worthwhile. When they did put Austin Aries in the X Division, who did he feud with? Zema Ion? Is that really the greatest feud for a wrestler of Austin Aries' caliber? Back in the day, he could have had some epic matches with the likes of Jay Lethal, with the likes of AJ Styles for this belt. It didn't have to be for the world title. Because at the time, when TNA first came to fruition, the X Division title had just as much prestige as the World Heavyweight title. Now to me, this is what needs to be done. They need to get everybody back in the X Division. You need to get Jeff Jarrett pushing and getting the scouting network going. And I think that is where the money would be better spent than renewing Hulk Hogan's contract and letting Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff try to revamp the X Division, but constantly fail because they don't understand it. Triple threats, okay, maybe it was a good idea if you had the superstars, but you don't. But if you are going to have triple threats, how do you build a feud? You can't. So that's why they ditched that idea. Because week in, week out, you can't build consistent feuds if you're dropping one guy in and one guy out the next. So, then they tried an X-Cam. Who wants to see a camera stuck to a referee's head? That don't work either. How many more shots did you want at it? And why did you need shots at it? Because there was nothing wrong with the original X Division. It confuses me how we got to the stage in 2013 where we have a guy with a mask who doesn't really know his name because he was Suicide, then he was Majestic, Magic, Moloch, Manic. Oh, yep, got it. It's Manic. It's Manic, innit? Yeah, it's Manic. It's Manic that he doesn't even know his name as the X Division champion. And when you bring him back under a different name, at least rebrand him, repackage him. Don't bring him back in the same attire minus the Suicide on the costume. It amazes me that we get to the stage where we have a guy like that who is talented, but he's completely lost. And around him you have maybe one or two guys, Kenny King, Chris Sabin, but they'll dip in and out like they did with Chris Sabin. World title, now in the X Division, got nothing for you. It amazes me that we've got to this stage. So guys, this is the topic at hand. What do you think needs to be done to get the X Division back where it started? What does it need to be done to make it great again? Do you want it back? Do you want it to be great again? Do you care for the X Division? Some of you might think, no, just ditch the X Division completely. And I would note, because it's just come to my mind, that the belt as well has lost all prestige when they revamped it, because it looks exactly like the NXT title. The phrase that springs to mind is, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. And that is what TNA have tried to do for numerous years now. Tried to fix something that wasn't broken in the first place. So guys, let me know. X Division is the topic. What do you want to happen to it? Do you think it's good that Hulk Hogan goes? Do you think we should re-sign Hulk Hogan? Do you think we should invest money into the X Division? What do you think? That is the lowdown today. I'm very passionate about the subject, as you can tell, so I can't wait to hear what you guys have got to say. But until next time, please rate, comment and subscribe. And this is Delzinski signing out.